Hello everyone, and welcome back to Terraria Skyblock. Well, you see, I was using my trusty handy updated mob farm when a slime wave was occurring. This led to me using the power of the grenade I was using to farm to both fight off against the never-ending horde of slime and to potentially try to call upon King Slime so you can finally get a congealer, a gel condenser, the thing that exists in any normal Skyblock world. But this is not any normal Skyblock world, for this is a for the worthy Skyblock world, meaning that there are a few. Not only do we have to deal with for the worthy mechanics, but there are a few secondary mechanics that having both Skyblock and the for the worthy combined does. For instance, besides me dying to King Slime, it does not give you the condenser device allowing you to use slime objects and gel as blocks and platforms. Means that we have to do things relative all the Skyblock ways, kind of. We still have modern day mechanics and slimes that contain every item you'll ever want, but I mean, that doesn't necessarily change all that much. Although, compared to your normal Skyblock world, we have dot slimes that shoot dots at you, the dot traps inside of them. This is why we are using the mine cut tracks, because mobs don't spawn there. And as you saw from me scrolling at it from the map, yeah, I didn't find the ether. It's the ether in this world. You can probably take a well. Here's a trivia question for you. Do you think is the second removal thing they remove when doing a for the worthy Skyblock world? Because I said before, it already removes the slime condenser device thingy. I forgot its name when recording this, so the King Slime drop, the King Slime and the crafting station drop. There, that should spell out for you for that one. So tell me, with this knowledge, do you think I'll find this shimmer on the other side of the world? Well, you will see it roughly around near the end of this video. But until then, I decide that, I have a pretty effective underground farm, and I also saw this video of someone else doing a difficult challenge where I got inspired to have copied their idea for an above ground farming device thingy. So first is, well, building the basis of it. Using the fact that slimes jump, who would have guessed? I thought like I could probably use that, so it's like I have a door there, and then it's like as they jump up, they scoop down into a spawning device, into a drop filter to shoot them. I mean, currently this is a terrible plan because I did not build it, and anyway, I don't think the dot slime actually saw its dot trap at all. And also, I'm fairly certain dot traps won't work on mobs, and even if it does, it's like not good. So yeah, I decided that with that nonsense out of the way, I probably just like, you know, build the roof first. Then here was like probably like a perfectly good size for it all in so. Although and this is where I'm all the great. Slimes, they jump. Yes, they jump pretty high. So I tried to put a wall in the middle of it all that'll cause them to face plant into it and fall into the chute, like so. That was the perfect example of what I was trying to do. The slime. Yes, indeed. Anyway, your wall is now deaf. So yeah, with that out of the way, all we need to do now is effectively make the holding device. Since we also have to make so it's not too small as well, because like, what's the point of having them plant into the wall if they can just then later on jump out of the way? So this is where the second part of the device comes into play. Is this contraption. And since slimes don't naturally go down platforms, this is a pretty strong slime containment system. Now we need a good way to just walk up to the, well, stage and shoot them. I keep on saying shoot, but honestly shooting them is like a waste of resources. We just need to hit them with a melee weapon. But what it's actually meant for, hitting them with a melee weapon, like the Silver of a Zombie. That's still like my best weapon here. Legendary mode. I think it's in legendary mode. Yeah, I just checked. It is in fact in legendary mode. I think this is a legendary Skyblock world. One of a kind, only on this channel and nowhere else, because who would try to do a legendary mode of Skyblock wall? That seems kinda dumb and stupid. It was like, what would it do? Remove the shimmer and the gel device thingy? What else will it remove? Or add? It definitely added tree bombs, live bombs in trees. But yeah, this is also where my second part of the plan. Just put doors there because slimes can't open doors. They also can't go down platforms. This is pretty much the perfect trap for slimes anyway. Although we do have a bit of a problem. Night coming down and well, this is not that kind of device. So with that in mind, let's see how well it does at night-ish. So yeah, it's like after farming in a bit of a few more slimes anyway, we get to see how well it can do at night. And we already have a small problem. Well, it's actually a pretty big problem, I'll consider. Demon eyes. I mean, they still go down the chute eventually. But you know what else they will eventually go through? That's right! The platforms that are underneath that I used to build the thing in the first place. As you see, you and I just kind of fly into it. Which means, yeah, while this design works, and anything that's at the top layer effectively can't do anything, since you and I can fly, they can just fly under, which lets me hitting the entire bottom of the platform. And enacting Operation 2, which is, well, convincing mobs to stay inside the contraption, for lack of a better term. Well, for another thing that was happening, guys, noticing that sometimes mobs would just bounce away, walk away. And it's like, so inevitably they'll go into shoot. There's a thing called the mob cap and stuff. Like, I don't think we're actually ever reaching the mob cap. Like, this is a highly interesting thing. It's only one platform. I think, like, I probably should look up how to make proper mob spawns in Terraria, but you know something that's helpful in actual mob spawns in Terraria? Oh yeah, right, lava. And well, this might be legendary mode, Skyblock. Bats? So besides me dying, bats don't drop lava. Still just the lava slimes, as so heal. In a moment, ta-da! The lava slime dies and it drops lava. The bats don't do it at all. I can even prove it to you. Look at this. I'm fighting a bunch of bats and... ha! Nothing. So yeah, I guess this might be because we're in the center of the wall, but might also be because Skyblock prevents lava bats from dropping lava. Anyway, it's not that big of a deal, just kind of like an interesting observation. Anyway, time to use wood to be the great platform to use on lava on top of, or bottom of. I mean, it is like the least flammable contraption you've ever seen, right? Yeah, I was thinking it's pumping safe. I mean, except for the mobs, who, as you see, has a very sleek design overhaul, which as me changing it to hay because we have a hay aesthetic, you know, hay is definitely the less flammable of the objects before just using conveyor belts. I don't know why I even did any of that. In the first place, actually. But conveyor belts is a lot more useful because it drags them into the center of the map. Meaning that I can just stay there and collect items even if it doesn't actually change anything. Because I don't know what I was expecting to change, actually. And yeah, it's actually kind of cool that panels, they can hop between panels, platforms with panels on them and panels just moves down. Great quality of life thing. But yeah, also I'm not actually high enough to pick up the things. Well, gravity hooker can, but I mean, I guess works. It's like a lot less farmable, and I mean, version 2 of the farm, well, way more useful, has kind of a problem of, well, first zombies can break the doors, yes, so hay up the doors real quick. I should actually torch up the doors. Like, torches would be way better, actually, but that's not really the final design I went with for, like, leaving this contraption at all. Honestly, now thinking about why didn't I use torches or lamps? That would have been way smarter than the decision I came down to for, like, exiting the place phase 2. So, yeah. But yeah, it's like, well, it's preventing the mobs from leaving the contraption earlier. It still requires them to jump up every staircase. Yeah. Version 3 should help deal with this problem. But, as for now, we can now test it out in a blood moon, as I progress to make the final additions to the farm. Hitting of a hammer enough times until it functions better. Like, yuck. I can't believe that triple dodged a star. Yeah, and of course, we block up the doors. You know, the doors. What you want from me. Because every mob in Terraria can jump, so it's like, it's not that big of a deal to have a slope, but it's like, as the slime showed me, it's like, and it costs more cosmetic hammering for later. This should help them, so even the ones, well, this just helps with like slimes really specifically, because it means that now you don't have to jump as often to get to the top of the place. Now they can just jump once and then well, conveyor belted into the lava pit. And of course, you have to make it fireless. Another thing that this thing helps is saying you collect stars. Actually, that might be a good reason to make the thing bigger, actually, so we can like have the entire platform as conveyor belt stars into play. I mean, it's not a bad idea for like later as well as like have the sky grid of star platforms, but to do that we'll definitely need like a chest of assorted goods. And like this was the problem that I was facing with the doors, is the constant doors loosen. They'll constantly bang on doors no matter how often. It means that yeah, this is the main reason why I changed up strategies, because well, torching up the door, putting a torch or a lamp on top of the doors would work. The zombies and stuff won't actually go up the platform until like after until they have like a reason to. Like yeah, as you see when I start to speed up the process, I can't as skipping Blessed of the Blood Moon. I can't put in some hay blocks so they'll actually, you know, stay in. But this is also where I learned that we need to move it down a bit more to actually make it work better. And we still have the problem of now, instead of Demon Eyes being able to enter the bottom of our location and kill everything and kill me, they now hover below our location and do absolutely nothing. So yeah, and of course we still have some problem with the Demon Eyes will still go in there eventually, but boy do they take a while. Like this really showing me an example. Like maybe I should make the hole big or just for Demon Eyes. They're like flies in that way. They'll always go through the slots that you left open that you didn't prepare for them to go through, but when you actually want them to go through the place that you want them to enter, they smack their face into every object in the wall. And this is famous where I was like plan B, just fight them myself. The night's nearly over anyway. So yeah. Just stay here and basically ba bing ba boom, we can deal with all the threats. The triplers, the eyes, like everything. A bit of a smiley anticlimactic ending to like the farming night, but hey, at least it taught me a lot about the problems of my current contraption. Being no undead will ever actually enter it because they'll bonk on the doors all night instead of actually jumping. The pit was a bit too small to actually want something entering it. And I still need a better way of dealing with flying mobs. I feel like this is the greatest example of needing to figure out a way to deal with flying mobs of all time, wouldn't you agree? This guy was smacking their face into it. But I mean, this might as well, I think like maybe like increasing the conveyor belt for like to be a bigger would actually be a pretty useful thing for me to do. So that's what I did, and this is what I mean by like my solution too, because now it's slightly harder to attempt to get Enderme because they'll go down, hit a door, and hopefully go back up while they get flung into the Contraption-O-Matic. The electrolyzed volcano, at least I'll call it. So if the electrolyzed volcano in pure automation state, we can now work on other things like turning the rest of the platforms into cloud platforms because I have an aesthetic. Thank you very much. I probably should make that a cloud door as well one of these days, but I think I need like a sky mill for that, and that will be a while. So instead, how about we just also the fundamental design of the underground platform to be more accommodating to lava and less accommodating to bats. Yeah, it's like I forgot why I made this like funnel filter thing. Well, they fall off before. Well, they have to fall down first before they can actually like enter into the lava pit. And I guess no, I think I'm all okay. Now I'm talking about why. I think it was to make sure that they didn't walk back and forth because they are strong enough to walk against the conveyor belt at times. Like they walk for a bit and then fall and then, well, that explains much. It's going to descend from the heavens. Let's see. And oh my god, it's raining. I didn't realize that rain had special effects, but this is cool because now we can finally enter a new era of Skyblock, Skyworld. The age of water shall now begin. This is actually like a dramatically important thing for the rest of the series. For one thing and one thing particular that I shall save for the end. All you need to know is that we are going to need okay, we don't need a lot of water, but it would be nice to have a lot of starting water. What we're about to do. So for that, I craft more buckets to collect this treasure trove of water. The coins are a nice bonus too. But yeah, like these are gold coins and stuff. Like it's useful for my accounting book, but not so much for anything else. And yeah, the whales do not keep any gold. Like it's not like we really. I mean, well, buying things is useful. Like I should not downplay that. Like, man, imagine if I actually bothered making gold bombs instead of anything else. I was also noticing how long it was taking for it to fill up the bottle, but as you saw right there, it definitely works. No, it has to be sky water. It has to be actually raining and not like the stormy cloud rain. Because stormy cloud rain does nothing. It's just cosmetic. You need real rainwater. A disappointing fact of life, but we have to live with it. Anyway, with that, we can now, well, collect some more money and stuff, but also reveal why we need all this water. Why it took like 5 hours for us to get water to possibly do for. So, without further ado, behold! Why? To make a pool of water. What were you expecting? Like, anything more? Well, I guess for those who do not know, why do we need a large pool of water? Well, it's quite simple. 2 fish. Yeah, that's it. Just 2 fish. Fishing now, in any other circumstances, fishing might sound dumb. What's also dumb is the fact that it began raining directly as I was making the thing, so while it was mildly helpful for filling up the other buckets I was not using for making the system, it was still extremely annoying. I also going to put the conveyor belts on the ground into into more cloud platforms again, because well, as you see, it's like pretty much what happened here was that it went down, bonked its head into the conveyor belt, and then kind of got stuck down here. Really annoying. I probably should extend the walls a lot more to make it more difficult for them to get stuck down there. That would also help. Things to do next time around. But with this, we have now gained the power to fish. So with that, thank you all so much for watching. See you next time for whatever I am doing next. and I hope to see you around. Bye bye!